Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Ink with a colored tongue. Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Because we're doing well because having a wonderful day on the 6th September 2025. Colored tongue because we ate some Skittles. I was recapping Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was like, I didn't like what I do. You know what? This is beautiful. Because you see here, a little bit of sky. See here, no sky at all. So we're filming in the best possible moment. And if you were to look, you would see that after this, it's not gonna be pretty. So we decided to film. So what happened is I watched an episode about 2 days ago and I already forgotten. So we rewatched those episodes. I'm gonna do some recap. Now we're gonna be doing from episode 4 to episode 10 possibly. So without further ado, let's start 9-9. So we have season 1, episode 4. First, the second and first. First thing that we have, I like doing some recap, but I'm gonna repeat myself, but it's just so weird. And it's just so weird to start a recap because you're supposed to have this intro, you're supposed to have how this is relating to you, but no, you don't. You just do a recap and you hope that somehow people know what you're talking about. First scene, great scene. You got Jake talking into the Jake calling Amy. Again, I said this in this is my last video, which is a complete fail. The cold opens are super cool. Cold openers are super cool because you have a chance to win, you have a chance to ruin it. So this one is actually pretty good. One of my favorites so far. So Jake comes in and he calls Amy, right? And this is cool because you see the chemistry that they have. You see how much Jake cares about Amy in a fucked up way. This is cool because the mentality of Jake is the guy that never grew up, and there's no better way to get a girl attention than by bullying. There's no better way to get a girl attention than by bullying her. There you go. It's better without the motocross motor behind it. So he described her date as a killer, which is kind of funny because he's obviously not. But Jake loses his own date, so it's paying off. It's when you think about the whole thing, it's paying off. So we have the briefing.
I already got my paperwork in, Captain. No, it doesn't. We have a good relationship. We're on the same page. No, sir, I wasn't. Toronto was the one that was talking.
I love this. Amy Kiss-Ass teacher pet. And this is like definitely that's somebody that you want to be in team with. Next on the list we have
Saboteur. That's not true. I happen to be a very good.
Yep. We have a death in the apartment, and the boss tells that Boyles is the primary. So the primary is kind of the guy who's in charge of the operation, and people follow him. He's in charge, right? Now I don't know how this works because obviously I'm not a police officer, but I personally think I'm playing a tower also. I think it's a case of like, okay, well, you lack a little bit of leadership, so let's put you in a position where you do have leadership. I think this is more of one of this case than anything else, because why would you do that, right? Jake is a better cop. I'm sorry. I love Boyles. Don't get me wrong, I love Boyles, but Jake is a better cop. And this is the truth. This is the truth of the matter. So what are we doing? We're doing this. Of course, we're doing 5 things at once, because that's how champions do things, right? I just realized that I didn't even buy the event thing for none of them. Sheesh, you're late, Inky. There you go, 0 medals, that's good. Wait a second, shit. Oh. It's more than 1,000. Damn. Okay, back on track. Guess who's back? Back again. I was gonna pick up that phone, but I took out this phone instead, and it was gonna fall. So Charles in charge, and people were telling him, Jake, please make sure that you allow Charles to be there. There's an implication that Jake isn't a good secondary. But you know what's funny about this episode? And there's always a bromance, right? And yes, it's primary, it's secondary, but it's bro code. And I think Charles, in all his dignity and glory, is a better bro to Jake than Jake is a bro to Charles. We're broing it down, you know? Instances of Jake not being a good secondary. We got Charles, and this is amazing. Oh my god, you have to listen to the scene. So Charles' choice of music isn't great. Isn't great. We got old painting, and old painting is very cool because it's just of him being comfortable in the princess, right? Old has been the captain for now 4 episodes, and people are wanting to welcome him, right? Now, here's the kind of sad part about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Don't have an history of how long they've been taking together or working together. We just know that Old is a new guy around town. So whatever that means, right? Whatever that implies, we'll do torn damage because why not? It's fair. So you talk about the painting and how he hates the painting. However, Terry is a great artist, so stay up for this. We go to the scene. We're talking about how Jake makes a lot of fat joke, how it was a natural cause of death. There's a funny thing involved. The girlfriend saying, "Hey, we ordered the unlimited sodas," and then Charles like, "Oh, that was a pretty big investment," which was funny, right? Charles thinks that there's more to it, but Jake has to allow him, and Jake constantly thinks that it's not the case. Lap speed. Oh, lap speed, lap speed, lap speed. Okay, so now 509. It didn't really improve. However, we're gonna have this. That's good though. Who cares? Yeah, there you go. Lap speed is gonna be important because give me a sec. How much is this? 9 hours or 5. Okay, we're pretty close to where we were last week. Cool. So we have a pretty cool scene of how I'm so sorry. Jake has to allow Boyle to be the first one because otherwise Jake assessment will be the one assessment that there's there. The primary, Boyle thinks there's something more. Jake is secondary, so he has to allow Boyle to prove that it's a more or not more. We have Jake flirting with the I don't know what you call it, misogynist. I don't know what you call it. She's a there's a specific word for that. Coroner. Yeah, coroner. There's a problem. Jake ends up having sex with the coroner, which is pretty great. Congrats, Jake. However, she's not the best. She's not the best coroner. So, her files are late. Her assessments are late. So, you know, it's the whole precinct it's paying for Jake having sex, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, let the boy get some. You know, let the boy get some. Pretty weird sex with pretty weird sex with the coroner because it implies hints or what you call it? You know when you have a meal and there's a small taste of it. There's a hints of a certain spices. There's hints of necrophilia. If you don't know what that is, do not check it out, please and thank you. Okay, cool. Jake thinks a good idea to ask about sex advice to his female coworker, right? But then who's gonna ask? Actually, I would have asked Hitchcock. I would have asked Hitchcock and do the opposite. But I would have asked Hitchcock, right? So she talks about Terry is making a painting for Alt, which is really cool because we love Terry. Terry, I don't know, because it's so complex. Terry is a great character, but Terry isn't in most of the scene, or he doesn't have the most development. So, for example, where you get a character like Jake who has every single episode, he's present about half to the show or more, right? And again, by Jake, also I have to be precise. Andy Samberg, the guy who plays Jake Peralta, you can tell that he loves doing Jake Peralta. So it's fun to see him act because you can tell that he's into the character. So they're talking about how they want to capture a happy face for Holt because it's tradition to hold up the captain, but Holt feel like he doesn't deserve it, right? And there's a really good ending to this episode, which is kind of important to the whole thing. People are starting to get mad at Jake because He's talking to the coroner, and Jake's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the paper," but they end up having sex, which is a letdown for the whole squad, especially for Boyles, because Boyles is a bro. Forget about teamwork; he's a bro, right? So then Jake goes in, and they're finding out by doing an autopsy, right, that there's some poison. There is some poison. Pretty cool scene where Terry asks Sully, "Hey, give me my oils." He's like, "For painting or for massage?" And old Terry, like, I'm calling him old because they both hold the authority perspective. So Terry has authority, old does, but Terry's more physically imposing. So in my opinion, physically imposing leadership of some sort, I guess. So they found out that the guy is poisoned. Now we have, this is super cool. This is super cool. So Amy is the one that presented the gift, but Captain Old, and I gotta say, this is why I love Captain Old. This is why I didn't like him in the beginning, but this is why I love him now. So he goes in, and the whole crew is doing something, and pretty much an asshole. He goes in and says, "Hey, I don't want that painting. That painting is fucking ugly," and it sucks because you, like, the whole team got together to do this for you, and you're being disrespectful. You're not caring at all. However, he does have a good excuse. I feel like he doesn't deserve it. He feels like a pompous, pretentious person if he does it. So she presented a oil painting. I love this because he says I look like a North Korean. Wait, I cannot say it myself because I'll get cancelled. But oh.
But you would have me hang up a oil painting of myself like I'm a North Korean.
And he says, "Why no ornate girlfriend? Why am I not on my horse?" This is amazing. But you realize that he's afraid of the stats because he was trying to improve the stats. However, he didn't improve the stats. So the stats is the number of arrests, the number of tickets. You know, what makes a precinct prove that it's a working precinct, solving crimes, right? Boyle comes in and realizes that the wife did it, and then he made the funny thing is that the victim was, they always make a fat joke about him, but the wife's like, "Oh, he was cheating. He's a real life Don Juan. So that's kind of funny that somebody that made fun of physically was having the most sex, right? So there you go. Pretty cool ending where Jake admitted that he was an asshole. He says sorry to Boyles because he wasn't a good secondary, but guess what? Boyles is shielded, right? Then at the end, Boyles will get what he wants. He was right. This was a murder and not a accident. Season 1, episode 5, The Vulture. Vulture is a super cool episode in which this is for the first time, well, not the first time, but this is the most flagrant example so far of teamwork. So the Vulture is a guy who's gonna come in and swoop all arrests, and he thinks that he's the best, and he has an amazing number, but he comes in when the job is done. So he steals work, right? Which is why he's called the Vulture. The people hate him; they think he's a pompous freak, and because they hate him, they don't want him to succeed. Which is pretty much the whole plot of the first thing. The cold opening is talking about the oldest arrest they have. So talk about this old arrest. Then Charles like, "Oh, think about the oldest bone," and talk about this person. But then Charles didn't know that was talking about arrest, so he admits to elder sex, not the Elden Ring, but elder sex. Pretty cool episode. Pretty cool cold open. Not my favorite though. The last one was better.
You're at the 1 yard line.
Yes, Jim. I play linebacker in Syracuse.
Really? In high school, I played center field. The musical Damn Yankees. You don't want to brag about that.
Peralta, you want to look under what? Okay?
Eh.
That was out of the question.
Get ready for some stuff on the screen. Meet Fred Gorman, prominent citizen, lawyer, of course. Now meet his wife, Ann Holt. Did not take his last name. For some reason, the jail.
Okay, yeah. Cool. They find this arrest, right? And this arrest, we kind of have a suspect of who did it. We kind of have a reason for why they did it, but they don't have the murder weapon. So because they don't have the murder weapon, it's hard to say that they were killed, right? Because you can't say, for example, right? Let's say this person killed this person, but they don't have the murder weapon. You gotta prove that this person did it because you need the prints. And you need a. Nobody has the strength to just. You can strangle somebody. There's sign of strangulation. You can beat somebody to death, but then there'll be sign of that, right? So you have to find a murder weapon, and they're looking for it, right? Now this is like a really really important thing. And this is cool also because this is a really important moment for Jake. Again, first season feels a lot about Jake. How can I put this? I love Andy Samberg, but this is the precincts. I want more. I gotta be honest. I watched the show before. I watched a whole season before. After 8 seasons, we don't have enough of Rosa. And the best character after the whole thing is, of course, my favorite characters are Charles or Holt. But the character that is the most endearing to me is possibly Amy. Not even Jake. Jake is good, though. Jake is good. I'll take Jake extra. So what they're saying is that they have to fix it. They have to solve the issue. They have to find a murder weapon. Otherwise, this is it's not going to be finished. So the team goes in with Jake, and they're like, hey, Jake, whatever you need, let us help. Let us help. And Holt even tell Jake, use your teammates. Because Jake takes too long, here comes a vulture, which is a guy that closes again. He closes, He closes cases that are not closed. He's a closer, you know?
I would never steal his thunder. I'd be afraid to borrow it.
He said if I need help, Jake is again. This is kind of like a Jake being an asshole, but he's not being. He's being arrogant, right? Jake is like, yo, I need the help from only one of you, and it's Charles because Charles won't question me. Charles is not willing to steal my thunder. And Charles is like, oh, I won't even borrow it. There's possibly a case of Jake thinking that he's not gonna get anything if he does. Good, we have Terry Crews being Holt wants him back on the field because he feels like he's wasting potential. And see, there's also the thing that Holt is. It's kind of crazy because I mentioned Terry being a leadership. We did a show, and the show was what? The show was Prison Break, and Prison Break was about leadership. I was not seeing the main character as a leader, but I'm seeing Holt as a leader because of his imposing voice and demeanor also, right? Oh, I'm dying. In the ground I lay, losing everything. I can see my eyes passing me by. Was it all too much? I'm gonna die next. I'm gonna die soon. Or just not enough. Now, of course, we're putting the tower, so we got a lot of work. Somehow we're resistant. Somehow we're surviving. No, we're not. Come on in. You got this. You got this. 143. Can't let that stop you, bro. You're almost there. You're inches from it. They're coming in too quickly. No, I don't have time to rest. I did. 144. In the ground I lay, losing everything. I can see my eyes watching me by. Was it all too much or just not enough? Wake me up, I'm living a nightmare. I will not die. Tell me the bench and I'll give you a cookie. So Terry goes in and he's afraid of being back on the field. Holt, because he's a good team leader, goes in and is like, yo, I kind of need you on the field, bro. This is where your strength is. You know, this is super cool. He invites Gina, and this is also a very, very, very interesting thing. This is a very important thing. So Gina also want to go for a gun. So Gina says her precinct isn't safe, doesn't feel safe. Now this is supposed to be a joke because her precinct's the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So this is a diss in saying that the Brooklyn Nine-Nine doesn't do a good job. However, it ends up being so much more. It ends up being kind of like a crazy reveal because in a couple episodes, her apartment, people steal from their apartment. She gets stolen, right? And which meant that her apartment wasn't safe to begin with. And it's kind of like a cool scene because it's kind of like foreshadowing, right? Toot, 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 toot. Super cool scene. We got this guy, and they're saying, where can we hide the knife? Because they literally look everywhere. Where can you find a knife? And this guy's like, no, I told you already. I'm gonna record it so I don't have to repeat myself. And then by recording it, he puts an ID for the for for a novel, which is really, really, really cool. They go to the door, and they get this old woman who's naked. But this is kind of funny because, of course, Charles, having bagged a gilf, will like to take care of it. So it's a wink at the cold opening. We literally have, this is so cool. This is so cool. You got a mother who gives her children to Jake and a dog to Boyle. Says, I'm so busy. Which is kind of cool. Cool. Rosa come in, and this is cool because even though Jake asked for no help, the whole district, the whole precinct is on the subject. Now, I think they want to help Jake because Jake is a good dude, but I don't think there's another reason than that, right? Now, the cool thing with that is that Rosa comes in and she said the wound doesn't look like a knife wound, it looks like a puncture wound, something like a corkscrew. Now, we're not looking for a knife, we're looking for a corkscrew. Vulture comes in and right away insults everybody. Everybody hates him. But there's a cool scene here where he asks Terry's how much he bench. And you can tell that the guy has ego, he's narcissistic, he has a big ego, but possibly insecurity, right? So that's kind of funny. My apologies. So Olt tells them, look, you lost the case. Olt tells Jake and Charles, you lost the case. You took too long, this is no longer what we're doing. So technically speaking, the Vulture is higher ranking, but his unit is of higher ranking. So when they see that, I don't remember what it is in particular. I don't remember what it is. It's but it's the job of this unit is to go in when other crimes are not resolved. So kind of like possibly like an NCIS, possibly like an FBI thing, you know. Cool. Vulture talks about he calls him Nancy Drew, but Charles actually a big fan of Nancy Drew, so he defends the point, which goes against Jake. That was actually kind of funny because again, there's so much cliches. For example, there's an episode where we talk about what is the best cop movie, but there's more than cop movie. There's cops books too. So this is kind of cool to see. So the people are joining, and this is cool. This is cool because you want the precincts to get together. The only one that's not there is Terry and Oates. Rosa admit having a little something for the Vulture, which is kind of cool because it's the complete opposite of Charles. So again, it's to pinpoint that Charles is not there, but it's weird because Rosa said that she had a boyfriend, right? So they go around the table, they talk about how the Vulture stole their whatchamacallit, their case. We got the shooting range, which is actually a really, really, really cool scene. Because Gina is an icon and she goes all gangster, right? And she's like, oh, wrap your arm around me, show me. It's like a golf thing, which is super freaking nice. And then Olt, on purpose, and Gina are not doing well. So Terry comes in and he shoots perfectly. So then Olt's like, hey, this is my witness, Gina's my witness. It was all a plot to get you to shoot. And if you do 8 bullets right, you get your permit, which is super nice. Now, why is that so important? Because Gina will do the same thing. Later on, Terry will have a psych evaluation, and Gina will do the same thing. So Gina kind of has the back. See, the first thing that we see is her having Boyle's back, but also making fun of him. So this is part of her personality, I guess. And we love it because she's an icon. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I'll be right back. I don't think I did it. Oh, la 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 la. survive. I will not die. I'm a dumbass. What I did? I was supposed to charge the battery pack, but I didn't. I forgot. I'll wait here for you. I feel no love when you're beside me. Yeah. I will not die unless you're waiting in my time of dying. Here's the name of the song. Come on. This is so cool. Jake calls Gina, right? And this is so fucking cool. I love this episode. Jake called Gina, and Gina says, Gina, home of official, authentic police badge stolen. So basically having a business of police badge, which is funny because of course it's Gina. Gina, honestly, and the sad thing is she gonna leave. So yeah. Super effing cool. Jake and Amy being close. And they're drunk. I love Jake and Amy. How can I say this? Jake and Amy will end up together. And since season 1, you can kind of see it. Kind of see that there's a weird chemistry. I kind of see, you know what? For some reason, weird reason, those two would end up being a good couple. And you cannot put your finger on it. You don't know why. Like, why am I thinking that? But you are thinking that. So there's a really cool scene where the captain gives Jake the ID. You say, you wanna beat the vulture? Vulture is case. Vulture the vulture. Which means solving the case before he solves it, right? The bar to which they go, he was talking to the waitress, and the waitress overheard them. The guy was cheating, so it's the motive as to why she killed him, which is kind of funny. You have, and this is super cool. Why? Because this is super cool. Because you have a scene with Jake and Amy who have decent chemistry, possible relationship chemistry, and then you have the relationship between Rosa and Boyles. Rosa go next to Boyles. Terry doesn't shoot because he's afraid. He only misses one shot. Then he's back in. You have to shoot the target 8 out of 10 times, and he shoots 7 times perfectly. So there's a super cool scene where Terry talks about the Maverick, and I never saw the movie, but it's really good. So basically what they're doing is they're doing the horseshoe and they go in, and it's super nice because they play again with the victim. Charles doesn't want to be the victim, so what he does is he plays the door. I gotta say, that's the best acted door I ever saw. They realized that the horseshoe itself has a magnet, and this is why they couldn't find it, right? But they're pissed because they basically went to a crime scene without having clearance. So basically dirty the crime scene, but they solved the crime, which is kind of cool. Terry's pissed off. This is super cool. By Jake fucking up. This was the motivation that Terry needed, and this is so cool because not only is Terry back on the field, but he's back as a leader. You know, you want to use Terry more because right now, you see, with the Office, even the base cast of the Office, there's so many more people than with so many more people. Ult does a stare down with the Vulture. The Vulture wants more, but Ult is staring down, Mexican standoff. So basically me looking at you, looking at me, and the first one to not look is a loser. Well, not the loser, but he backs down. This is a Mexican standoff, which is kind of cool. Jake says sorry to everybody. You should have asked them to help first, which is kind of good. And then Ult asks for, but he makes it up. So yeah, he said everybody, hey, I'm sorry, I should have ordered you. Ult says, hey, somebody has to pay for this. People went to a crime scene, and they were not allowed to go to a crime scene. This is illegal. So Jake's like, so you tell them, Jake, who was with you? Jake said, I was with Jake, I was with Jake. So basically protecting everybody else, which is a pretty sweet move. Pretty freaking sweet move. Gotta say. What else do you say?
Also involved was the Right Honorable J. Hernandez was a world specialist.
There you go. Part of a team. All this is implication because the lesson was there. Basically, how they got Terry to shoot was Gina being over flirtatious with him. Which, come on. Gina's hot, dude. I don't care what people say. Gina is hot. I don't remember if we see the Vulture again. But pre-establishing that there's a rivalry, that's actually kind of cool. I have 14% batteries. We'll finish this episode. That's why I was pissed, because I didn't have the batteries on. I'm gonna be back here in an hour and a half. Now I'm gonna be having time to charge everything. So it's gonna be problematic. However, this battery is good. This battery is not good. Yeah, this battery is good. Halloween. So Halloween special. We love Halloween special. In from the face of a police is kind of cool. You got Charles. Charles who has a Halloween costume. Making fun of Charles' Halloween costume is legit a tradition. He's and he's super into it, which is cool. We call him Stew, which is super cool. The only one that that's so cool. The only one that gets it is a criminal. There's a bunch of drunken people. One of them is dressed about Hillary Clinton, and Jake's like, "Stop it! What would Bill say? Bill Clinton." So that was kind of funny. And Santiago. Nice. This is super cool. So Old puts it together the team of Santiago and Boyle. Why is it so cool? Because Santiago hates with a passion Halloween. So going out with the guy that's the most into Halloween is torture. There you go. Da, 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 da. A little bit of a joke with a banana. That's super cool. Okay, cool. So, also still make fun of Jake police work. So, I'll be a great. He said, "I'm gonna be a great thief. I'm gonna be a great villain." I don't have enough batteries. I said 11%. I have to stop. Shit.